Hi, everyone. I am Regina Ryder, and I am Forgiveness Walks. I wanted to welcome you to my program here tonight. I'm at Art Van Atta Park in Dayton, Ohio, and this evening I am celebrating completing an intention that I set to walk in nature on every day in July of 2024. This morning, when I took a short walk here in this same park, I thought, what a neat way to wrap up the month would be to come out at sunset on this day and walk in the park and invite you to come along. So that's what I'm doing. If anybody else comes in while I'm recording, that is just fine. I wanted to reflect on what developed for me about my walks and because of my walks and during my walks, so that I can let this idea grow in myself that my purpose and my business, my job in this part of my life is to really focus on what's been growing in me for my whole life. And that's that I love to entice others to come outside where we can connect to the earth with our bodies, to spirit with our souls and our minds, and really experience ourselves as a column of energy moving between heaven and earth. This developed as a child, walking with my parents in the parks in Dayton. When I worked as in outdoor education for several years after college, worked as a summer camp counselor and nature lady, then walking the Appalachian Trail a couple times, and working at Anza Borrego Desert State Park in California for 9 seasons. That just is so alive in me to invite you to come outside and connect. So now I realize I have a really unique set of tools and processes that I like to use when I'm out to do this. So to awaken our senses, to charge our energy centers, which I call our non-senses, to complement our physical senses. And then to use the tools of radical forgiveness to clear away our upsets and our blocks to feeling freedom and peace within ourselves. And as I walked every day this month, I confirmed for myself that these are useful tools for me, as well as it turns out for others, because I took notes. I've wrote a little review of each of my walks in my Facebook group, which is Appalachian Trail Women, clearing our path for crafting fulfilling walks. So I was eager to do my walking. And first of all, it developed because in March, I had set the idea that during the month of July, which was my 70th birthday month, I would walk on the Appalachian Trail. Various reasons and like blocks and other things to do in my life, like figure out where I was going to live and being more dedicated to visiting my mom in her assisted living, just made that plan not develop. So I decided to do this other thing, that's to walk in nature every day. So here's some of the things I discovered on these walks. First of all, I admit there were a few days I just wasn't like getting myself out. Reminded myself of my mom, who never wants to go on a walk, but she always thanks me when I've taken her. That was true. I always was grateful I had gone, even though I was kind of stuck like scrolling the videos and watching the political things and all that, but it was always better to get out. I discovered that the tools that I use, sensory awakening, charging my non-senses, and using the 13 steps to radical forgiveness in nature, are effective and powerful ways to feel better about my life, to get ideas, to like clarify priorities, and connect with others. I discovered that with technology, I could actually do work while walking because I could connect with others, make phone calls, post messages. So that was very exciting. And I allowed myself to do that. And I thought, well, it's not wrong to be on my phone while I'm out in nature. It's actually a pretty good office. So allowing that possibility. I found that stating an intention and sharing it with others, sharing it with you here in our group, empowered it and gave me accountability and a reason to get out there every day and share. That really kept me going. So persisting, sharing, stating my intention to others was very powerful. Found that nature provided metaphors and symbols and significances to many ideas, things that I saw, and inspired me to use language in a particular form I call a sin cane, to get at the essence of what I was seeing and experiencing, to describe it in just a few words. What else? I wrote these things down. Walking got my body into balance. I sometimes started slow and I just said, oh, I just don't have energy, but I didn't judge myself. I didn't set big goal for these walks. They were just to be connected to nature. And I found that as I walked, I regulated my breathing. I used my technique to climb the mountains. And if you haven't learned Regina's Meet the Mountains technique yet, you definitely need to get in touch with me so that you can get that. So it regulated my body, made me feel really good in my body and in my heart, and my mind. See what else did I, oh, okay. So a couple really specific things I found out was that the trail where I walked as a child with my parents at the Taylorsville Metro Park is a really good facsimile of the general terrain of the Appalachian Trail. So one day I had the idea that wouldn't it be cool if women came to Taylorsville Park to train? You could stay with me in my apartment because I have extra room. And I put that idea out and somebody called me. And now she's working with me to develop her own fulfilling walk. So that's pretty exciting. So I found out that this walking really is the thing that I do. So I really want to call you in to consider walking in nature as something that's essential for you, and to consider me as somebody who can give you techniques for that, support you in making each step easy and being your virtual or real life companion for walking in nature. I want to keep doing this more and more. So going forward, I have so many ideas for how this could be done. So I want to come up with another intention for August, which could be as simple as continuing to walk every day and let you know about it. But here we are. This video is just going to people in the Facebook group that you're a member of. So I want to invite you to start posting in the group when you walk in nature, what happened and how it was for you, so we can get that conversation going. And I can suggest and offer techniques, considerations, things about gear, things about planning, suggestions of where to go next, and mostly to promote the idea that each step can be easy. That's one of the biggest mottos that I have in forgiveness walks, that women, we've done enough hard things in our lives, and now we can do the easy thing of connecting with nature and making that what keeps us going and keeps us focused, and that doesn't have to be a hard thing. Let's see, what else? I'm just so grateful for this month that I dedicated to walking every day. Each day was so precious, and there were several times I went and ventured to a new park. I met a new friend near Cincinnati, and she introduced me to a new park and gave me, I found out we could collaborate because we actually do some of the same things. One day I met a woman I'd never met before at the end of one of my walks, and we've scheduled to meet on purpose and walk in a park that I'm not familiar with. And what else? Oh, not going to the Appalachian Trail reminded me that I'm right here on the Buckeye Trail in Ohio. So I ventured off for an overnight on a little section of the Buckeye Trail that's near a state park where I camped. And then I walked in the evening and in the morning in a beautiful wood. So this walking every day inspired me to love my two usual parks, plus venture out to other ones. And again, making it easy, making it delightful. I really loved walking on the Taylorsville Metro Park Trail. That reminds me of the Appalachian Trail with my backpack, like fully loaded, because then I really felt like I was on the pretend Appalachian Trail. It was interesting to have this intention, and some days to feel resistance and slowness, but always feel revived. But other days I really crave getting out into nature. So it was interesting to experience those ups and downs. Let's see, what else? I think that I want to celebrate that intention is now complete. Now sun has pretty much gone down, and you go out of my shelter house. I'm sitting at the picnic table so that I could have my notebook and remember all the things I wanted to share with you. But let's see. I'm just gonna do it like this. There. So behind me, the sun is, there it is. Pretty cool. Sun is going down, and I think I'll wrap up this video now, and thank you for watching. And I want to end with, first of all, repeat that invitation for you to start to post in our group about your walks. Like, what are you thinking? What are you intending? And what have you done? Even if you go for a walk one day, then let's hear about it. Start a conversation. So let me finish with a quote from John Muir. I only went out for a walk and concluded to stay out till sundown. For going out, I found, was really going in. Thanks so much for being present for me in our group to fulfill this intention of daily walks in July. Your comments are great. Really get involved in the conversation with me. And thanks for being here to inspire me and help me see this purpose for myself as I step into my, whatever you call this, after 71st year, and live even more intentionally. So good night and goodbye. I love you. Thanks for being here.